Hey everybody, and welcome back to my favorite PvE game, Deep Rock Galactic. Something isn't right here. Who are you? Who are you? What is this place? Who are these people? What are you doing here? Where's my dwarves? So recently, I was lucky enough to get my hands on the Back 4 Blood closed beta, and I really wanted to talk about it. I've been interested in the game for a while now, ever since I finished up a playthrough of Left 4 Dead 2. I'd had the game in my library for ages, but had never really had much of an interest in playing it, but when me and my friends ran out of stuff to do, we gave it a shot and I really liked it. So naturally, when I saw trailers of this game start popping up, I was really interested. While Left 4 Dead 2 is a lot of fun, I felt like it could have been expanded on a bit more. And it seemed like Back 4 Blood was set to do exactly that. But can it live up to the hype? I'm going to give you a full overview of the game, as well as my own opinions on it, and then you can come to your own conclusions. So without any more delays, let's take a look at the Back 4 Blood beta. Let's start off by addressing what this game is all about. When it comes to the main gameplay, it, unsurprisingly, has a very similar structure to Left 4 Dead, where players choose a campaign, then play through a series of acts. Each act is essentially a separate level with its own goal. Usually the goal is to get to the safe room at the end of the map. Every 4 levels, the goal changes to something unique. Now, I can't say for certain if this is the default for each campaign. In the beta, there was a mashup of 4 acts from 2 different campaigns, giving us a total of 8 acts. There is still some debate if this means each campaign will have 8 acts, or if they will only have 4 and we just got a mashup of 2 campaigns. Regardless, there's a pretty clear pattern. As mentioned before, every 4 acts there will be a new goal. For example, one of these goals was blowing up a ferry to prevent the Ridden from crossing a bridge. You have to pick up 2 bombs and plant them before making your escape. This new goal helps mix things up, as well as provide a final challenge to overcome. This isn't the only mix-up that the game can throw at you though. The other acts will have smaller challenges inside. Typically, this is some sort of event that causes the Horde to attack, and you have to defend a set position. Other times you have to run away. The game is always ready to throw new challenges at you. A much smaller but ever-present challenge that the game will throw at you is resource management. Weapons each use a different type of ammunition, and making sure you can stay fully stocked is really important. There have been some complaints about this, but I never found it to be too much of an issue. While people can hog ammo, if you're careful, you can always keep topped off. Not only that, but safe rooms let you pay to restock your ammo. Speaking of paying, you can collect coins called copper to pay for tools, weapons, and ammo at safe houses. These coins provide a lot of interesting choices. You can pay for tools and weapons to upgrade, or you can save to buy upgrades for your entire team. There are also support tools and healing items. Health is obviously a very important resource, so keeping well stocked is crucial. You can also get things like barbed wire or tasers to help counter the Ridden. Another very useful tool is the toolkit, which lets you open special doors and crates for bonus rewards. There are lots of other choices, so you'll always be able to approach things differently each playthrough. You can't do everything at once, however. You're going to need to divide and conquer. A big part of the game is, obviously, working as a team. The game is clearly designed to be played as a group, and the developers have done a fantastic job. It's really fun to work as a team and clear through the massive swarms. What makes this so great is the different characters. Not only do they have unique interactions between them, but they also have their own special abilities. That was something I thought was missing in Left 4 Dead. While the characters are very well done in that game, they don't really feel special through gameplay. By giving them their own abilities, it helps make them stand out. Each cleaner, as they're called, has 2 abilities. One that is unique to them, and one that gets applied to the whole team. As an example, let's look at my favorite cleaner, Hoffman. Every time you kill a Ridden as him, there's a chance that they will drop ammo. He also gives a 10% buff to the entire team's ammo capacity. There are 8 cleaners to choose from, so there's tons of different abilities to try out. Of course, teamwork isn't the only thing you need to get through a zombie apocalypse. You're gonna need some firepower. There's plenty of different options to choose from when you head out to fight the swarm. There are 4 main categories of weapons, each using a unique ammo type. Rifles, snipers, shotguns, and submachine guns. Each category is made up of different weapons, both primaries and secondaries. Each of these weapons serves a different purpose. So far it seems like rifles have the most variety, but there's still a lot of choice for the other categories as well. It is also possible that I didn't find every type of weapon. I wasn't even able to try all the weapons that I did find. All you really need to know is that it's a lot of fun experimenting with the different weapons and trying to find the best combinations. I also wanted to quickly mention melee weapons, since they are a choice that's available. Personally, I don't really enjoy using them. I did use them a bit to get a feel, and they seem to be a bit weak. Perhaps that's because I didn't get enough practice, but that's a complaint I've heard a lot. There's still plenty of time for a rework, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. For the most part though, the weapons feel great to use. Through both sound and animation, each weapon has a satisfying impact. It makes tearing through the Ridden all the more fun. It's really easy to pick up a weapon and immediately understand how it works. This makes it even easier to pick a favorite weapon. Personally, I really like the rifles. They're great at dealing with crowds, but they can also take out Ridden at long range, giving you the best of both worlds. Of course, to do that, you're going to need the right attachments. And speaking of which, let's talk about those now. Once you find a weapon you like, you can also use different attachments to upgrade it. These come in a variety of different rarities, and the better the rarity, the better the upgrade. There's white, green, blue, and purple rarities. There's also a red rarity, but that works a little bit differently from the others. It actually makes your weapon worse. You'll want to look for a replacement right away. Attachments offer a lot of potential choice and can help you carry an early game weapon into late game. You'll always want to be on the lookout for potential upgrades. There are a few issues with the system, like being unable to switch them without finding a replacement, but honestly it rarely ever impacted me. So long as you work with your team and think carefully about what you choose, you won't have many issues. Now, knowing your weapons is one thing. It's also important to know what you're going to be using them against. The Ridden are a pretty unique take on zombies, both in general concept and in gameplay. They have normal zombies, of course, but there are a few special variations to mix things up. So far, we have the Tall Boy, the Reeker, the Stinger, the Snitch, and the Sleeper. Each one of these zombies has their own sub-variants. For example, the Tall Boy has a Crusher and a Bruiser. The Crusher can grab and hold cleaners, but is weaker overall, and the Bruiser is better at dealing damage, but can't hold cleaners still. This helps to spice things up a bit, although admittedly there is a bit of repetition. This is currently one of the biggest weaknesses the game has. There isn't much variety in the enemies that you're going to be facing. There are still Ridden that have not been added, but in the beta I found myself fighting the same enemies over and over. Maybe that was just bad luck. For example, I never even encountered a Snitch. Perhaps other people had better luck than I did. There's still more work that needs to be done. Thankfully, the existing Ridden do provide a good challenge. They each bring something different to the table. It's important to understand how to avoid them and fight back. It's also especially important to know the difference between the sub-variants, considering they can look superficially similar. Each Ridden also has weak points on different parts of their body. This means that you're forced to approach them differently. It works really well to keep players on their toes. The Ridden aren't the only challenge you'll face though. There's also the cards. I've actually mentioned them a bit already. They represent the different upgrades you can choose. They can also add additional challenges to a mission. These are called corruption cards. Corruption cards add a downside, like fog that makes it hard to see, or stronger zombies. They can also add a side mission, like avoiding alerting the Horde or collecting blood samples. Completing this side mission gives you bonus rewards. This is one of the factors that makes Back 4 Blood much better than Left 4 Dead in my eyes. These challenges really increase the replay value. There weren't that many challenges in the beta, but I'm certain that we'll see more in the full game. This isn't the only thing that cards bring to the table when it comes to replayability. Upgrade cards offer a lot of different playstyles that can be tried out and perfected over various runs. To unlock these different playstyles, however, you're going to need to unlock different cards. Now I know what you're thinking, a lot of people hear card system and start to freak out, but don't worry, it's very simple. Just by playing the game, you unlock supply points. You can use these supply points to buy different supply lines. Each supply line contains cosmetics as well as different cards. One of the long-term gameplay loops is collecting supply points to unlock more supply lines. So far, this process has been a lot of fun. It's a little tricky to get new builds at first, but as long as you keep playing, you'll start to see more options pop up. There's still a lot that I wasn't able to unlock, but there's a great deal of variety from what I've seen. I believe that the card system is what's going to keep me invested for the long run. I'm really eager to work on unlocking all the cards that I can. Unlocking and experimenting with the cards is one of the big draws of the game. Overall, I think that Back 4 Blood has a lot of great potential. The beta was able to show off a lot of great features. I had a lot of concerns, but this beta did a great job of making me less worried. I really enjoyed playing, and I never once had an issue with the core gameplay itself. This beta is a strong foundation, and I seriously doubt the game will decline in quality before the release. There are a lot of issues that need to be addressed before the game is great, however. Minor tech issues are something that popped up frequently, lag and some teleporting zombies could be spotted here or there. Of course, they're still working to resolve these issues, and they aren't that major. A bigger issue though is balance issues. Melee weapons are weak, and some of the guns struggle with crowds of zombies. Of course, not every gun is meant to handle a crowd, but there's still a disparity between certain types of guns. I will admit that rifles seem to be the best gun in the game at the current moment. Again, this issue is not game ruining, but it's a bit annoying at times. And I already mentioned, there's a lack of variety when it comes to the zombies. But of course, this is only the beta, so we'll have to wait and see. In conclusion, whether you're just interested in this type of game, or you're a longtime fan of Left 4 Dead, then I recommend you take a look at this. The game truly does feel like a spiritual successor, while also bringing a lot of new stuff to the table. I think the game's got potential, and I look forward to seeing them fulfill it. And with that, that's been my thoughts on Back 4 Blood. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I hope this game does amazing. I don't want to be disappointed, but we'll have to wait and see. If you want me to do more review, opinion sort of videos, or you just want to hear more about Back 4 Blood from me, then make sure to like and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Catch you then.